How's it going, everybody? Thank you for joining us today on this Monday, 17th of June, 2024. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us here today. We're still waiting on Joe to show up. He'll be here shortly. He had to freshen up, but he will be here shortly. But we do want to thank each and every one of you for joining us here today while we're waiting on him. Thank you for joining us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, Rumble, and Pilt.net.
And if you haven't already, please take a moment and smash that thumbs up if you're over on Rumble or YouTube. Take that red pill if you're over on Pilled. Smash that heart if you're over on X. And remember, sharing is caring, and we love each and every one of you.
We do. We're truly grateful that you're all here. And yeah, this is going to be fun tonight with Rambo.
Yes, you should show them your new cup, by the way.
My new cup while we're waiting on Rambo? Yeah, as a matter of fact, well, before I show you the cup, I have to show you who did it. This is a non-paid, little plug here. Vandy Street is her name, and she makes all of these amazing cups. She does everything by hand. She paints them all, and let's see, I will get you her little link here real quick, before I start showing off the cup that we just got in. So let's see, got that there. That's sending out. All right. So yeah, so she made me this cup right here, and Kay has her own cup, but she's off screen right now, as y'all probably already know. Anyway, yeah, it's an amazing cup and truly grateful. She is an amazing person, definitely cares about the kids, and is fighting that fight as best as she can to bring awareness to our modern slavery problem. But hey, look, she's doing her part, and that's all we could ever ask of anybody, is that you get out there and do what you're inspired to do and donate to the things, or donate your time or your money, whatever you have available to you, to become part of the solution, to get rid of this problem that we do have. So yeah, pretty awesome. Yeah, Vandy Street's pretty awesome.
She really is.
Yeah. It's been a while since we've had her on. We should have her on again.
We should.
Yeah.
I know you guys see me drinking out of my cup all the time because I really I'm gonna beat you.
I mean, not like Nancy Pelosi or anything, but
no, it's always got water in it. Thank you very much. So while we're waiting on Joe before Santino gets stabbed, let's say hello to everyone.
Hello to everyone.
We got F. Clan in the house.
What's up, F. Clan? How you doing, man?
Got Chachi.
What's up, Chachi?
We got Lightspear, and of course,
he was
Bethany.
Yeah, Lightspear and Bethany, and Lightspear was here like hours ago. Lightspear's always here.
Yes.
Yeah, Lightspear's awesome. What's up, Lightspear?
Miss Jenny.
Jenny.
Watch out for the frogs, Jenny.
And we got some new friends here as well.
CK1.
Hey. How you doing? La Cosa Nostra? Not really. I mean, it is that thing of ours because we care about this country.
Yes.
The Constitution. The Constitution kind of is that thing of all of ours.
It is. It is.
Got Lucy Lancius. Nice.
If we mess up any names, we apologize.
We'll figure it out eventually.
I think F. Clem likes your cup.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's an awesome cup too. What's up, Turber? How you doing, Turber? I'm going to go with Blink. Howdy.
See, Bethany knows you're in trouble.
I am in trouble. It's all right.
Hello, Miss Colleen.
Colleen, what's going on?
How is everyone's Monday going?
And yeah, thanks for hitting that thumbs up. Yeah, you know what? For a Monday, it wasn't so Monday-y. It was like a good-ish Monday for Monday.
Good-ish Monday?
I mean, for a Monday. I mean, we always know that Mondays are Monday-y, but it wasn't that terrible.
What? For you.
What do you mean for me?
For you. It was.
I
don't know.
Whatever.
Look at Bethany showing off, getting everybody's name.
Look at that.
Show off.
Going through the crowd.
She's a show off.
It's kind of weird to sit here and try to stall as we wait for Joe to show up.
That's okay. We're gonna go ahead and talk about the first thing.
Lance, like the Lance crackers.
Okay.
All right.
Joe is getting cleaned up.
Yeah, Joe is getting cleaned up.
This is his
he's getting
screen
the
right here.
yeah, he's getting the work off of him right now.
Yes.
Yeah, he's getting the work off of him so that way he could do this.
Be presentable.
Be presentable.
As
Yes.
he said. So he will be here shortly.
He will be here shortly. Wait, where did you pop on?
Yeah.
All right. Where's your picture?
I don't know.
Are you just hitting buttons?
No.
Well, okay. And shout out to Agent Smith. Agent Smith,
Right, don't
obviously in the
forget.
house today. Hope you're having a decent Monday.
Camera.
Might need TP. Should check on him. Thanks, F. Glenn.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with
Oh,
mine.
good. Oh, God. Colleen
Wow.
stayed in bed all day with a migraine. Oh, no. Oh, that's awful.
Oh, I hope you feel better.
And chilly in North Dakota. When is it not chilly in North Dakota?
I was gonna say. I mean, it's
We sound like grandparents. Thanks, Lightspear.
Thanks. Thanks there, buddy.
All right, so we're going to play something in the meantime while we're waiting for Joe to show up.
Yes, we will.
We got his little background there.
We do. We have his
It's all we
background.
can offer right now, but we can offer you a Joe Rambo here shortly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, oh, Miss Steph.
It's Steph. What's going on, Steph?
So, let's go ahead and talk about the draft they just passed.
Oh, yeah, that's exciting. Everybody gets to play now.
You ready?
Yeah.
The House has just passed a bill that automatically registers men ages 18 to 25 for the Selective Service. Let's have a discuss. Pause. I don't know if you know this, but it has been a law for a long time for men ages 18 to register for the Selective Service within 30 days of turning age 18. Now, there are some exceptions, there are some exemptions, but this is not a new thing. Okay, so all the people that are saying we're going to war, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't feed into the narrative. You are doing the exact thing that the media does, creating mass hysteria, and people go crazy, and it gets us nowhere. I do understand the concerns. I know there's a lot going on in the world that's a little concerning right now, but don't be part of the narrative that they are trying to make you become a part of. Okay. I do have two genuine questions though. What happens for a male who genuinely does not identify as a male but hasn't gone through the transition period then? What happens? What happens? Secondly, toxic masculinity. I've already heard it. People are like, I'm not doing that. Let the men do it. I thought masculinity was bad. I thought it was toxic. I don't believe in that. I genuinely believe that people are born and built differently to do different things. And some people are born and built differently to do something completely fucking different. And that is completely fine. We need to stop pointing the finger at people. We want to be accepted. You want to be accepted. Let's accept other people. Okay. But hey, have fun with the Selective Service. Bye.
There's Joe.
Hi there.
What's up, brother? We are
Not
honored
much.
to have you here today. Thank you
Yes.
very, very much for bringing light to our little tiny corner of the interwebs.
Well, yeah, of course. So that's really honestly what I want to do. So just so everybody knows, if you are watching on my Twitter page or you're coming to check this out because I shared for the first time, these two have helped me tremendously behind the scenes. And when I get home at 7 o'clock at night, like I just did now, typically I will listen and jump in the. I genuinely like intimate shows, right? So like when I first started podcasting, we were in the chat of Alpha Vets, right? But now Alpha Vets only had like 100 people watching, but they were tremendously talented and they've blown up. And I think the same thing's going to happen to you guys.
Man,
So
I appreciate that.
yeah, I mean that's my full intention is to maybe so many people help me.
Yeah. Hey,
Uh,
no one's an island, right?
Yeah, I
Right.
think we rise together. I think you guys are doing a great job. That's why I
Thank
listen
you.
and,
I
and jump in your
appreciate that.
chat every day that I can possibly do it. But hi, everybody. I'm trying to pull the show up so I can make comments as
All
well.
right. All right. So let's see. You want to? I'll just dive right in while we're waiting on you to do that. In terms of the Selective Service and this new thing that they're doing, where you're automatically registered. I mean, you had to register anyway, It's kind of like the IRS, if you think about it. They already have all your information. Why are they going to make you send in anything at all? They already know how much taxes you paid for the year, except for five, brother. Let's see. So it's like now it's just automated that you get put into the selective service thing. But I think it's also designed to be bringing highlights to the feminist society that we live in, the toxic femininity that we have right now. Because they always talk about toxic masculinity and everything. And I think it's really showing what's going on with the feminists around the world. Oh, we want to, have the same pay. We want to be able to walk into any job and this and that and the other thing. And then when it comes time to, get to business, then it's, oh, well,
When it's time to do gangster things,
Yeah,
then
well-
all of a sudden they don't want to be so gangster.
yeah, not so gangster once it's time to actually start doing the gangster shit. So it's it's highlighting that. In my personal opinion, I don't think women should be in combat arms. I think that they can be in the
Neither
military.
do I.
Do I think that women have the capability to beat some ass? Oh yeah. I know they can. But then again, my personal philosophy is the hand that rocks the cradle probably shouldn't have PTSD while they're raising that child, because it's only going to create children moving forward in the future who are going to have issues before they even get the chance to get out the door. And so I think that because women are emotional, because women are based in the heart, I think that that heart is absolutely necessary as part of that whole husband wife raising a child makes better children kind of thing. I think that that's that's certainly half of what the children need. So if we're sending our women off to war and they've got all these PTSD issues going on, our kids don't have a chance. I don't think they're going to have a chance. And so I'm hoping that this is to highlight how much crap the feminist movement is, especially when we talk about equality, and because that's what we're heading to, is they're going to start registering the women here soon. And that's when we're going to start hearing some real crying. I think that this is part of kind of like a whole, wake up kind of scenario. I don't know what you got, Joe.
So many things on that one, to be honest with you. Well, because
Let's hear it.
well, okay. So I'm a everything's fake and gay type of guy. So I think that this is a conversation starter, to be honest with you. I think it's a conversation starter at a time where Joe Biden is looking like he's putting us in a World War III type scenario. Russia's off the coast of Florida, down by Cuba.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like in the beginning when Joe Biden first took over, and we were told there was Chinese soldiers at the northwestern border.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think that it's messaging to start a conversation and motivate you emotionally. So, what people don't always consider when they hear something like this and instantly get emotionally vested is, I don't really care if people don't believe me. I'm convinced through my research that we are offering citizenship through enlistment at our border. That's what the military age males are about. Donald Trump has also talked about the fact that we need immigrants to come in this country because we're bringing all of these businesses back here, and they wouldn't be able to function without people that are going to work there. And we don't have the workforce to bring back the businesses that he wants to bring back to make America great again. So when he talks about when they're talking about people enlisting and using women and all those things, I think it's supposed to motivate us emotionally. I think that it's supposed to take you up one or two more notches on the emotionally vested part of Joe Biden being president, because everything looks scary and he's selling us out and we're being laughed at and blah blah blah. And the second thing about women in the military, look, women can do everything men can do and better, right?
I heard the song.
I'm not knocking women at all, but I am old school in the way that I would want to protect our women. I unfortunately, very very bad things happen in war, and I would hate for any human being to be stuck in a prisoner of war type of situation, left alone or what. And I promise you that things horrific would happen to women should they get put in those types of positions.
Oh yeah.
And I guess as an old school, my father's son type of dude, that makes me uncomfortable. I'd rather send me and my son before I send women, because it's just my opinion. I'm not saying they can't
I
do it.
agree.
They can, but I guess
Yeah.
that's the old school protective nature in me. I don't know.
I agree with you 100%. I don't think that, again, it's not that women can't do the things. And I see what you're saying about women might hesitate. I've seen some women that won't. No problem smoking a fool. And that's just from experience, right? And they can actually be more vicious. What?
Ooh, 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 ooh,
Oh, you got
ooh,
some?
ooh. Pick me, pick me.
Go ahead.
And that's normally the women who are going to the military to either get away from a man, to be a man, or to get a man. And after being a Marine Corps wife for so long, I still believe that women should be at home taking care of the kids. I don't think they should be out killing people because, again, they are going to have those problems.
Mhm.
I know because you have PTSD. The brain is not supposed to have is
You're
not
not
supposed to see the kind of things that you see when you're over there.
The human
And
psyche is not made for
exactly.
that.
And so what would happen is I've seen it where women in the military cannot take care of their kids properly because they've got all this problems. So as a woman, I'm still saying yes, go in the military, just not combat arms. I do not believe that a woman should be in combat arms.
I
And
think
I
that
said
it's
what I
unhealthy.
said.
I think it's just unhealthy, and I don't think it's something we should be playing with. Support, without a doubt. I mean, we had women in supporting roles during World War II because we needed every available male, and that was something kind of what was out of necessity that was done. What's up, shrooming away?
That's a good one. Well,
Yeah, I
can I
like
make
that.
something? Can I make something clear? Because I
Yeah.
tiptoed around it, and I hope it wasn't confused. Maybe it wasn't. I think your guys' point is good too. The hesitation thing wasn't nearly my concern. I got to be honest. If a man and a woman are captured,
Mhm. Oh, you're correct.
the woman's getting raped.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and the guys get raped too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm just saying, but the women
Okay,
are
but
more likely to get raped, without a doubt.
if you get some dude, what's the options? Torture could potentially come before rape.
Yeah,
If you
Mhm.
catch women, rape comes before torture. Not that it's not; it is torture.
yeah,
But what I'm saying is
I get what you're saying.
that's the old school part of me that wants to protect. Just like I would want to fight for freedom, I would want to. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe women calculate that, the ones that want to fight. I guess, but it's just my personal feeling. Is I don't
Didn't
want to put
Jessica
women in that
Lynch
position.
remember just the whole Jessica Lynch
Mhm.
thing? I remember everybody was talking about that.
Yeah. Yes.
Did
SEAL
did
Team
she
6
get
had to
assaulted?
go. Yes.
She did get
Yes.
sexually assaulted.
SEAL Team 6 had
Oops,
to
I don't
go
think I'm
in.
supposed to say that.
That's okay. SEAL Team
I
6
can't
had
say
to
that.
go in and
I don't.
save her.
The YouTube, I think. I don't
It's
know. We'll
fine.
find out if we get booted again.
It doesn't matter. We can get another one.
Yeah.
But the point of the matter is that yes, and she is still not
Right in the head.
right.
Well, no.
Yeah.
It's how long does it take to recover from something like that? And it's
Years.
yeah,
I know.
Semper Fidelis, brother, from a West Philly suburb.
West
Hey.
Philly suburb. Let me guess. West
Uh-oh.
Philly suburb.
Here we go.
Darby? Upper Darby?
All right,
I'm
Hey,
gonna need a
Trump's
chance.
coming to Philadelphia.
Laura
I'm
Logan
going.
too.
I will
Are
be there.
you? We
Yeah,
we
I'm going.
went. We went here in Vegas. It
Yes.
was crazy, but fun.
Yeah. I'm
Good point, Steph.
we're going on Saturday. I can't wait.
Oh,
Let
you're going
me-
to see you're going to the Trump rally?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, just so you know, I don't know if you caught it. They put the signal blocker in there once Trump is like at least a half hour before he shows up and probably a half hour after he leaves. So you won't be able to go live, but you can certainly video
Videotape.
and then put clips up and stuff like that.
That's
Oh,
what
yeah,
we
yeah.
had to
I'm a-
do.
We had to get there so early too.
The last time
We
I
got
went,
there at 5.
I ran around the parking lot. There's like a big wait and there's a line and it's a big love fest and everybody hangs out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I will be walking around trying to first of all, meet people. There's already one or two that told me they'll be there, so I can't wait to link up with people.
Nice.
And I will definitely be trying to do interviews like the last time we had the Hasidic Jews with the
Okay.
hair and everything with the signs. So I
Yeah.
interviewed them just on my cell phone and
Nice.
played it on the show back then. So I certainly plan on doing that again. It's gonna be fun.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, Santino met.
I met so many people.
Well, we met Brick Suit,
We did meet Brick Suit.
and then Black the
Blacks
main,
for Trumps.
the main guy from Blacks from Trump. He was so cool.
Yeah, he was cool, dude. They were crypto. They were crypto, and then I got Sebastian Seb. He's another local Las Vegas creator
The
here.
guys in New York.
The guys in New York. Those were the crypto
we
guys.
met kids from
Two
Canada.
Two kids from Canada. They
Came
flew down specifically
just for this.
the college students or university students
Yes,
from
university.
Yeah, came down just to see President Trump.
That's cool.
Cheap flights. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Close enough, he says. Grew up in UD most of his life, or his like DJ Destruct.
I don't know what UD is. I'm sure Joe.
I'm sure Joe does.
I was trying to pull up my picture with the Blacks for Trump dude. What is it? UD?
UD?
Oh, Upper Darby. Upper Darby most of my life.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I meant.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So if Bethany Ann, if you're in Upper Darby most of your life, I grew up in media.
No, that's she's bringing the message over from Pilled.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
bringing.
somebody's saying that on Pilled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, duh.
Thank you,
She did
Bethany.
a
I'm
strike.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody's over on Pilled saying that. Okay.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, I grew up in media. I drove through Upper Darby like every day due to addiction.
It happens. Hey, look, we all have life, right?
Yeah,
There's only one perfect person. They got rid of him real fast.
they did.
Yeah.
They did.
Only the good die young. I'm gonna live forever.
You and me both, brother.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
I have conservative aunt, and he's getting a little frustrated. So
Really?
yeah. Let's take
Oh,
a
God.
listen.
Hi there. Regular water, okay? Yes, please. And just so you know, are you my server? Yes. My pronouns are she, her.
Okay. It's all good for me. I understand the whole thing, but it's
Literally nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck at all anymore. Okay? We never did. So you can be a chair, a booth, trash bin, garbage can, garbage disposal, U-turn sign. I really don't give a fuck what you are and what you go by anymore. I'm not playing this game anymore. Me personally, I'm not playing this fucking game. The mental aerobics that y'all go through on a daily basis, like everybody else doesn't have to play along with your charade. I'm personally not doing it. So I'm gonna just say get fucked.
I should call him. I miss him. I haven't talked to him in a while. He invited me down to Florida. I should have went.
I mean, Florida's always nice.
He's
Oh,
getting
gosh.
irritated with these people.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
So,
he
what are
always-
y'all's thoughts on that?
Go ahead. You go, Santino.
Me first.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to start out with the fact that the camera was rolling before he even, or she, they, them, their, whatever. Gers. They had the camera rolling before they even had their first interaction with the waiter.
Mm-hmm.
But what does that tell you? I know what it tells me. It tells me that they're just seeking attention. Look at how much of a victim I am. Come on. Get over it.
I thought we were on the exact same page, but we were close.
We're close. All right. Well, what do you got?
I think that somebody does these on purpose sometimes.
I
think it's
can see
possible.
that.
I think they're putting these messages out sometimes intentionally, again, to
Mhm.
drive you emotionally.
Well,
But
yeah,
you
without a
could be
doubt.
right. I think it could be both.
Well, and you know what? That was a very close caption or close picture. Like they were right next to the walls, so obviously they were put back in the corner, or it was just a scene that was set up, which would go directly to what you were talking about. In which case it's probably some MK Ultra kind of, mind control. You set the stage, you set the scene, you set the narrative before you even turn the camera on, and you just go through this. And so, yeah, I can see how it's just pure manipulation of people to try to get people to react and respond and create problems where there really is none to begin with. And I'm going with they haven't cut the twig and berries off yet. So until you and until you cut the twig and berries off, you're just pretending. You know what? Do it right. Cut it off. Put
That's
your money where your mouth
horrible
is.
advice, Santino.
That's not horrible advice. Look, if this is the lifestyle you want, and you've played this game for a little while,
It's not good
then
advice.
what? How do
Don't
you
cut
think-
it off. Call a shrink. Go to
Call a
church.
different shrink. Look, call a different shrink. I will agree with you on that one. But how do you think they got eunuchs in the Bible? They had to come from somewhere.
Don't
You're
you?
gonna
Don't you
make-
just? Sorry, I'm sorry, Kay. What's that?
He about made drink go through my nose.
Look, it's my favorite part of me. So I don't really want. I don't know. I don't really want anybody to lose what I would consider to be like mine's my favorite part. So, like, so if you're mad at it or something, or you think it doesn't belong there, I would just like we should make it a law that like you should have to like I don't know get unindoctrinated somehow. Go to
Right.
church, see a shrink that's because what I mean. Okay, let's be real about it for a second. Let me stop laughing.
All right.
Once you cut off your junk, the suicide rate goes up tremendously.
I agree.
So now
It's-
we're talking about a real mental health issue,
Mhm.
not
Oh
just
no,
that my
it's a
junk's
real
my favorite.
it's a real mental health issue beforehand.
Well, it is a real mental health issue. And what's up, Ghost Pepper? And we brought it up like on just like a live. I was, stream of thought kind of thing. And I pulled up symptoms of depression and then symptoms of dysphoria, right? And gender dysphoria obviously comes up. And it's the exact same list of symptoms, the exact same. And so really what that tells me, and granted it's, Dr. Google or whatever, but the point is they're funneling people down these pathways and they're giving them medications that are they're working counter to what the human body is designed to do. And so the point being is really if the symptoms are exactly the same, then it's just a matter of I'm going to personally say coercion by the medical professional that's pushing a specific agenda, as opposed to just going with, okay, we've got some depression going on here and let's deal with the depression. Let's not add extra things to it. But sadly, I think we have to get to this point now before people start to wake up, because there are parents pushing their kids down this pathway. I think it's child abuse. Just me personally, and I know that there's a lot of people who share that sentiment, and I would say rightfully so. But it's like Jenner, Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner, kept on hearing about how he's transitioning. And then all of a sudden, he's not going to go through with the surgery. So it's like, okay, why did that stop all of a sudden? But yet he's still wearing dresses and everything. And so this goes into got stuck in a popularity trap where you make a deal and they make you do dumb things in order to gain that popularity. And he was married to the Kardashians, which are known witches. So who knows what you're getting into with, that whole mess. So it's like, we have to fix this, but I don't think it can be fixed until it sees itself all the way through to peak. What do you call it? Mental illness. You have to go through peak mental illness before people start to recognize what the real medicine is, as opposed to start to push some weird agenda that has never been a natural process in humanity. I don't know. That's all I got.
I agree.
It reminds me of the Bud Light stuff, and I know that was intentional messaging.
Oh,
I am
yeah.
I'm convinced at this point. That was intentional messaging by the good guys.
I think so. Well, that and I'm still convinced that Bud Light dude girl
Ben Shapiro.
looks like Ben Shapiro.
You're not wrong.
I mean, they look too similar to. I'm just throwing that one out there. It's like really close in facial structure and everything, you know.
Really weird. It's
Yeah.
really weird.
And I've seen the stuff that women do on like the makeup videos and stuff like that, like don't even know who that person was, spend all that time with the makeup. So it wouldn't be that hard to make somebody like Ben Shapiro look like what's Bud Light?
Dylan Mulvaney.
Yeah, Dylan Mulvaney.
Yes.
It's
I
just,
know.
Dylan
So-
Shapiro Mulvaney.
There you go. There you have it. So we're talking about you mentioned child abuse.
Mhm.
So we're going to talk about liberal logic.
Logic. Now that's an oxymoron.
I know.
All right,
You ready?
just checking.
And trigger warning if any liberals are watching, which I doubt it, but here we go.
It's all right. We'll toughen you
Trigger
up.
warning, and I hate that we have to do these on videos because everybody's softer than puppy poop after it rains. If you're easily triggered, scroll on. It's your time to do it now. These are some of the conversations I see happening, and like it's mind blowing the stance some people take. I'm like, I'm gonna role play it out, and you guys tell me what you think. Would you ever allow your 6 or 7-year-old boy or girl to change genders at age 6 or 7? Like, you like their well, of course, it's their body, their choice. If they think their boy want to be a girl or a girl be a boy, I'll let them do it. Like, I'll even pay for it. Okay, valid. Would you ever allow them to have a tattoo at age 6? 10, 12? Oh, no, not at all, because that's permanent. Like, what if they change their mind later on in life? And that's one. Would you ever put down your dog if it bit a kid or hurt a kid or unalived a kid? Would you? Would you ever put down your dog to do that? Oh, absolutely, because once it hurts a kid once, it's going to do it again. Okay, but why? And, they just can't help it. They're dogs. They don't know any better. So if we're willing to put dogs down for hurting children, why aren't we putting down P3DOs? Because they're people and they know right from wrong, and maybe if we took the time to put it in terms they understand, maybe they would change their stance on what they do to children or what should be permitted to be done to children or what we do to people who hurt children.
Thoughts, guys?
Joe.
Go
I
ahead,
feel-
Joe.
I feel like that shouldn't be such a far jump for people because, to be honest, most people I know like dogs more than people. I can't say that like honestly that I believe that because I love people so much. Obviously, if a child got bit by a dog, the dog's got to go. I get it, but humans love dogs. Dogs love humans. It's a really good analogy where it shouldn't be such a far bridge to cross. If you love dogs that much and it hurts a child and you put it down, then it really shouldn't be a far bridge to think that if you are an adult who is willing to, first of all, can you imagine the risk at this point in history with the technology and the people that are out there hunting you and the cops and people monitoring everything that's done digitally, and you're willing to risk it all for some sort of creepy mental disability that you have because you're perverted in a way that you want to touch something that's like forbidden. I mean, that is literally Satan. And if you can't find a way to cope with those emotions or that evil within you and be a stand-up individual, like I'm like really going on a reach here and trying to put myself in their position for a second. Like I was a drug
I don't
addict,
think you
right?
can. Yeah.
No, but I have things that I struggled with tremendously.
Yeah.
And drugs were my vice, right?
Mhm.
So if we look at them as humans, right? This is a difficult conversation I just brought up. But if you look at them as humans, they are obviously tempted in a way from something evil that they can't block, and then they act on it. Well, for me, that was drugs. Thank God it wasn't the other one, right? Let's just be real. If I had to learn my lessons, well, okay, mine was through self-destruction. I didn't hurt any little kids, but I kind of did. I lost my son for 10 years. So, I mean, if I'm going to get real, and it took a whole lot of self-help and coming to God to be able to get away from that. Well, these people, See, now that I'm saying having this conversation, maybe they do deserve a chance, but it's got to be heavily monitored. It's got to be they can't be around kids. It's got to be in some sort of institution.
That's why there were sanatoriums back in the day.
But okay, so let's just be completely real. Would Jesus want to kill them?
No.
I'm gonna
Damn it.
go with no.
Damn it,
Yeah.
I just beat myself in an argument. That sucks.
I was going to go in
Oh,
a completely
no.
different direction in all of this, but I mean, I see what you're saying because it's difficult to make that argument, right? And there it is, Jen, bring back the mental hospitals. That's what those were for. The mental hospitals got shut down because they were doing some vile crap in those things. You know, with the taking out the frontal lobe,
Lobotomy.
Yeah.
lobotomy. Yeah, they were doing lobotomies. They were doing electroshock therapy, and it seemed like Fauci was running those kinds of programs, or at least somebody that had that kind of mentality that Fauci
Right.
has with the Beagles and all that other stuff, right? So it's kind of it's hard to say we need to bring that back, but at the same time, we need to bring that back. Yes, we need to grow as a species to learn how to help everybody. But where I was going with this whole thing is it's like what he was saying, and based off of that, it was kind of the arguments that he was making to get people to open their eyes. The problem is so many people have their eyes shut, and it's okay to come at it. I see where you're coming from, and that's a difficult conversation. But when there's people make lobotomies great again. Thank you, F. Glenn. Where he's coming from is the problem is people aren't like even using their brains to make the distinction that what they're supporting is harmful. And so therefore, under the color of law, through the government saying, yes, these procedures are okay, yes, these things are okay, we're hurting more people. The first part of the conversation is no, we need to make sure that society as a whole can agree on the fact that this is unhealthy, that it is dangerous, that it is creating more problems, and that this is bad for society, and that this must end. Now, on the flip side of that, we do have a responsibility based off of like what you're talking about, Joe, with the Bible and Jesus and everything. You know, yes, we should find a way to heal these people, but we have to get to the point where we can say this group of people needs to be moved off to the side so that way they can't cause any more problems while we heal those who have been hurt by this group of people. It's like it's real complicated. So first things first, we got to get the country to agree on the fact that, you know, this isn't acceptable. Ghost Pepper, didn't Yeshua mention something about millstones in the ocean? As a matter of fact, he did to hurt the little ones. Yeah, it would be better off for you to put a millstone around your neck and jump into the ocean. So yes, but with that being said, that's because we're supposed to have that visceral reaction about how appalling that is.
Wait. Hold on. I got a question because
Yeah.
you guys are much more knowledgeable when it comes to the Bible. Can you repeat the line from the Bible that you just referenced that he was talking about?
It would be better for you to put a millstone around your neck and jump into the ocean. Paraphrasing.
Okay.
It's like that's not verbatim.
Well, no, but okay. But I think it also makes my point, right? I am not the one to put the millstone around his neck and throw him into the ocean.
Correct.
So
And now
what
I
it's
gotta look
getting
that
to,
up.
what it's getting to, if your paraphrasing is correct, what it's getting to, it goes back to the original point where it's your decision. God gave you free will. Now, can I say one more thing? It is absolutely our duty to protect the children. I am sitting here.
Mhm.
I am certainly not sitting here saying let all the pedos run free. That is
Understood.
not what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand.
Not at all.
The children should be protected at all costs.
Mhm.
But I think as a whole in this conversation, what needs to happen is a complete social revamping, which is what's happening now, right? There needs to be a resurgence to coming back to God. We need to turn away the evil that's being propagated against us through
Mhm.
Hollywood and the music industry, through the indoctrination camps that we call schools. What needs to happen is we need to rise back up, and God needs
Thank you,
to
Jan.
come back to the forefront. Maybe we need to put millstones around the necks for so long, but we need to correct society. And if we correct society, these issues that have crept in and become a major problem could creep right the hell back out.
And that's why we have to correct it.
Right.
Yeah. And that's, I think what you're getting at is first things first. Thank you, Jan, for bringing that up. I had pulled that up as well. Matthew chapter 18, verse 6. And I'm going to say it looks like NIV. Whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him to have a great millstone fastened around his neck and to be drowned in the depth of the sea.
Okay,
It would be better for him. So it kind of goes along a little bit with what, I mean, I see what you're saying, man.
That there's a difference. That makes it sound like it's okay. Let's drown them all. I said drown them. I'm drowning them. Let's do it.
That's funny. I mean, yeah, Nickelodeon's got some problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and here's the thing. I know we're supposed to forgive, but as you know, we talked about this TED Talk last week.
Oh, yeah.
Where they were saying that
They were justifying.
Yeah. That
It was awful.
you know, it was a sexual orientation for them. No, it's not.
See, that's
And that to me is sickening. And I have a problem with that.
I do too.
It is not a sexual orientation.
Mm-hmm.
It is a sickness.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that there has been so many chemicals put in the food over the years. I mean, you have to pretty much spend hours at the grocery store nowadays reading labels because of bioengineered everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, even the fruits and vegetables, even the things that don't have
Yes.
ingredients list need to have an ingredients list anymore.
Exactly. And so I think that is exactly what's happening. That and the SSRIs and all the other stuff. There's just a lot of things that are causing this to happen.
Well, there are a lot of things, but that's because we are on the Jones plantation.
Mhm.
And so people are going to react poorly. And there's a lot of studies about, you know, mice in an overpopulated, cramped area. They start to lose their morals that mice normally have naturally.
Mice have
So
morals, bro.
I mean, they're mice morals. They got small. It's just small. It's small morals. They're not very big.
Nice morals.
That somewhere out there. I'm thinking of Fievel right away. I love Fievel. What was that? What was
Okay,
that
you're
movie?
gonna have to pop up.
My camera isn't working.
You
so.
what? You horse pucky. So
really,
the
it
woman that's
isn't.
talking is my wife, Kay,
See,
and
it's really not working.
it's really not working.
It's really
Try
not working.
unplugging it and plugging it back in.
Okay, so she is a huge help on my Telegram. She's in every show, and so I want to say, let me take a second while you're trying to figure your camera out. There's over 2,000 people that have seen this on the Twitter feed. For you guys that are over there and you are watching, I'm literally just a guest today on that thing of ours. So that's why I put the link in the comments of the show. These two, Santino and Kay, are over here working very hard to put what I think is a very good show together. It is one when I get home from work at 7 o'clock that I jump in and hang out in the chat and talk, and they're always really helpful with me building my new platform. And these are patriots through and through. So I'm hoping that by doing this and putting it up on my Twitter, that a whole bunch of you will go and follow their show on Rumble or Pilled and check them out, because I believe that we rise together. And that's really like, they didn't even ask me to be on today. We always talk about it, but like, I was like, I have some time. Let me call them and see if they want me to come on. So, and you guys said yes right away, of course. And I'm on here. And so that's why we have this going on my Twitter feed, is because I am hoping to help these guys the same way that they've helped me. They're patriots through and through. So please go follow the channel.
I appreciate that, Joe.
Yes, thank you very much. So
That's awesome. Yeah,
But and I'm super jealous that you have a K. So Kay and Santino, to go back to the original point, you guys are married, correct?
Yes.
yes,
And Kay, and they work together as a team. And Kay like gets to produce and he gets to just talk. And she also talks and joins in when she wants to or can. And I'm super jealous because I wish I had a producer like you do.
I'm very blessed and lucky.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a K, and yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
It actually is
Yes.
really cool.
thank you, Steph.
Yes. Hey, Aaron.
Look up to the Mousetopia. Oh, the Mousetopia experiment. And I think that's what I was referencing. And I didn't know that's what the name was, but yeah, like Mousetopia, where they give them everything, and yeah, they'll like turn into cannibals and all sorts of weird stuff. It's a weird study. They
Yeah,
lose their little
very.
mice morals. It's wild.
Little mice morals.
I don't know. I didn't know they had morals.
Well, I mean,
Me either.
I know. One
everything
time,
has morals until they don't.
I saw a mouse with a human ear on its back. Is that the
I
same?
did see that one. Yeah, trying to grow ears on mice. Yeah, I know that bothered me. That was
That was
like,
back when they were warning us about cloning before the whole Joe Biden debacle that we're watching now.
I
mhm.
know. Oh.
They've been telling us about cloning forever and a day.
Mhm.
I mean, they really have.
I don't really
Mhm.
think Joe Biden's a clone, by the way.
No,
I think it's a guy in a mask.
I think there's a bunch of different actors playing Joe. Central
Can I-
Casting's got him down.
Can I prove a point for a second?
Please do.
Yes, absolutely.
Bring that up, Kay.
You can't?
No.
Look. No one on the planet.
Who the hell is that on the right?
That was this weekend.
No.
No.
Yes, it was.
Maybe he
That
got
was-
the mask on like all wrong.
Th-
He didn't get the
Wait,
mask.
hold on. Bear with me. So this was his fundraising event this weekend.
Uh-huh.
I know you guys are all very astute and attentive as I am when it comes to looking at Joe Biden and the 17 versions that we've been given of him.
Yes.
Look, you can get dentures, sure, right? That happens when
Mhm.
you're old. Except for that, Joe Biden's teeth were really, really nice. Just like, you know,
Mhm.
Those
8
look like
years ago.
dentures anyway.
This is not the same teeth.
No.
No.
You don't get
Botox?
plastic surgery on your teeth.
No, you don't.
And not only that, but like, okay, that's a mask.
It's not the same person.
It's not
No.
the same person at all.
No. Look
That's
at
not
the
the same
ears,
nose.
guys. Look at the ears.
I mean, your ears are going to grow as time goes on.
Yeah, but
But-
it's connected to his head, and these are not.
Okay, just the way his face, just no.
There's
Like the
nothing.
muscle structure doesn't look right.
Mm-mm.
People keep going, oh, it's because he's got dementia. It makes your face change really. No, it doesn't make your teeth change.
No, my grandma had Alzheimer's and dementia, and her face didn't change that much. It just aged. Yeah, it's not even bald chin, Joe. That was one of the 7.
Yeah, where's his balls at? Where's his balls on his face at?
Where's your balls at?
Yeah, that's bad. All right, get rid of that one.
The turkey gobble doesn't look right either.
I know.
Yeah,
That is just, oh my gosh.
I don't even think they're trying. I think they're trying to hide it less and less as we get closer and
Mhm.
closer. I think they're trying to hide it less and less.
Oh, he's the biggest red pill ever.
Okay. Can I share with you guys? You guys were probably
Got all
late.
serious there.
Well, you guys got late. Oh, you didn't have to pull that up yet. I'm not there yet.
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
All right.
You
give me-
know
give
I'm
me a
quick,
second.
Joe.
You are. You're very quick. I was so this just happened too. This literally happened like 3 hours ago. Let me find it. Joe Biden had a little get together with some world leader.
Some world
really-
leader.
I
World
don't know who
leader.
it was. To be honest, I saw it. I was like already driving home. All right, I'm ready when you are.
Bad mask.
Listen to this.
Me here in the Oval Office, and I look very much forward to the NATO summit in Washington, D.C. next month. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, will the lack of a war package? Are you worried about the war? Are you worried about the
Did you see that? You pulled your headphones off, Santino.
It was loud.
Yeah, but you got to hear what he does. Hold on.
He just Made
Hold up.
random
Watch me go.
sounds, right?
Yeah.
Are you worried about your water? Are you worried about your water?
He's so strange.
That's a strange bird.
Oh, what the heck?
If they could take the cackling hyenas out of there, that would, wow.
Well, you can see if
Wow.
you put 40 news reporters in a room and you all start screaming at a guy that's pretending to have dementia, his only response is going to be what that was.
Jim Carrey does play a good dementia patient.
Yes. Yes. Oh, Joe.
Yeah,
I
Joe.
have something that I think you're going to absolutely. There's a new documentary coming out. That's what I'm calling it.
It's a documentary. That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
So, get ready.
All right, here we go. Fly me to the moon.
Hey, Joe. Eating cold? Miss, you're on fire.
Very original. No, I do not want to stop, drop, and roll with you.
No, your book is on fire.
Oh my God.
Alcohol and flames. They like each other. Cold days.
Kelly Jones.
Public support for the moon mission is rock bottom.
Every day, something is breaking. And we're dead. Again. Or blowing up.
The space program is a bloated mess.
NASA needs a marketing specialist, and you are the very best.
Excuse me? What are you doing here?
I tracked you down because I felt we had a connection.
What?
I'm joking. I work here now to sell the moon.
NASA's not something that you sell with a jingle and a slogan.
When I'm done, those men are going to be bigger than the Beatles.
Who is that?
For me, that's a very personal.
He's got my name.
You told me that your guys don't do interviews, so I had to hire new guys.
I'm here for the casting. Who's he?
You're a juicy part.
60 missions in Korea. I flew 52 missions in Korea. I flew 52 missions in Korea. How's that? What?
The whole world will be watching. We can't afford to lose to the Russians. We need to shoot a backup version of the moon landing.
You mean to fake it? No one can ever know what we're doing.
I cannot accept that.
They will shoot you.
What is my budget?
Oh, boy.
I know a lot more about the moon than I know about you. Give me go, no go for launch. If you fake this mission, every single thing that we have sacrificed will have been for nothing.
You know you couldn't have made it to this day without me.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And
My Armstrong is a whiny little bitch. We have to recast.
I think we should have gotten Kubrick.
I think we should have got Kubrick.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts on that, Joe?
First of all, I hope she's not a chomo because she's really pretty.
That would really make me sad.
I know it would make
Hulk
me
sad.
I know. It's coming out of Hollywood. You got to question everybody.
I was gonna, Bethany.
Mhm. So, what do you think about the fact that they're talking about faking the moon landing?
I think that they're absolutely telling the truth. I'm afraid to go further than that because I'll hurt people's feelings. But
Who cares?
yeah. Well, all right. So the moon landing was obviously
Windy.
fake. Obviously fake.
Yeah.
NASA was founded by Nazis. Operation Paperclip. Right?
Facts.
So,
Yeah, 100% facts.
did we have to beat Russia in the Cold War? 100%. I mean,
Mhm.
you don't lose technology to get to the moon, and that was literally the story they gave us for a while. They've lied to us about all of history. There's pyramids in Antarctica.
Mm-hmm.
that you can literally find on Google Maps if you're good at it, or Google Earth or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where I hurt people's feelings because I don't really think the Earth's flat. So
Okay.
right, but I do think that they are potentially lying to us about maybe Earth beyond Antarctica or a potential ice wall, which wouldn't
Mhm.
necessarily make the Earth flat. It would just make the Earth bigger.
Right. Than
So
what
I
we
believe,
think it is.
and I got to be honest, this opinion is like a roller coaster. It is fluctuating. So I went from the normal. I grew up. They showed me the globe. I believed that's what it was, and then I
Mhm.
swung full pendulum swing to the other side, and I'm like, the Earth is flat. P90X cameras. I can see across water. Water doesn't curve. Right. I did that whole thing.
Right.
And
Right.
then like secretly, I kind of went because once you come to a belief, typically it's hard to break free of that. And
Can be.
And once you have come to the conclusions that you come to, especially when they break an old belief system and it shows you that you've been lied to, you then grasp onto those very tightly.
Mhm.
So a lot of times in prayer and meditation, I will realize that I'm doing that. So then I'll go and I'll talk to people that believe on the other side and I'll listen to their debate without giving my side. And some of the people I've talked to are some of the smartest people I know.
Right.
And they will give me answers that combat the ones that I've now emotionally tied myself to. So I don't want to go
Yeah.
into the whole debate, but this is where I'm at now. I've kind of settled somewhere in the middle. I have no idea. So do I think they lied to us? Do I think that movie's a documentary and they're telling us mostly truth?
Right.
Absolutely. Do I think
Yeah.
that there's the possibility that this is a disclosure campaign and the good guys are telling us that they lied? Absolutely.
Oh
Do
yeah.
I also think that it could be Hollywood just manipulating us again? Possible.
Could be. Could be very much so.
When's the last time we were told the truth about anything?
I mean, how would we know at this point in time?
Exactly.
And I think that's the whole point of the flat earth thing is you recognize that they've been lying about everything. Why wouldn't they lie about that too? Then you get into, and I'm kind of where you're at too. Is it flat? Like, are we, some kind of snow globe? I mean, that's a possibility. I know that what we've been told isn't very true, especially when older maps kind of show there's 4 islands up at the North Pole, and then there's a black rock in the middle of it. That kind of adds another layer of depth to this whole thing with the Black Rock Company. And then with Antarctica, and then you get into the whole moon's a mirror kind of thing, which would say that the Earth is a lot bigger than what we're being told it is. I mean, that rabbit hole goes deep. That rabbit hole goes real deep. And so I'm kind of along the lines with you is that okay, there's enough people now that don't believe that the moon landing ever occurred, and so it could be that Hollywood's trying to get ahead of whatever the next narrative is going to be, and they're going to try to set that. But at the same time, there's like some real possibility that we might find out a lot more information, and I think that that's what they're going to try to control is what we start to find out afterwards, or a soft disclosure about what that information is going to be, and how much of it we actually get. Because I see that they're still trying to press the alien narrative as opposed to demons and angels, and that whole interplay. And I think that the Bible talks about a lot of these things that we hear about. It's just we use more modern words that make more sense to our modern brains because we have gotten so far away from our relationship with the Bible and God and all that other stuff. So I don't know how it's going to play out in the long run. But I do know that as more and more people wake up, that they are going to have to change the things that they say or do. Chachi was saying conventional knowledge is based on the science that has been lying to us for centuries. Flat Earth is so-called fringe pseudoscience called fringe by so-called experts or gatekeepers. Exactly. So like that's perfect. Oh my gosh. Wait, what? God is real? Exactly. So Bethany, we talked to Bethany about this, and
The movie.
we talked to Bethany about the movie, and she just kind of threw something out there. So I'm going to show a picture to you, and you tell me who you think this could look like. Okay, I know who they're telling us it is. That's Fetterman, right?
Sure.
Who does that look like to you?
I mean, I see Fetterman. The eyes seem like a different color, but go ahead. What are you getting at? Oh, okay.
Could.
Look at his eye color.
Here, let's go with this.
Yeah.
Tell me that image doesn't look like that version of Fetterman. And then, oh Lord.
And his eyes are exactly the
These
same
stupid
color.
things. His eyes are the same color. Open image and new tab. There. Oh, geez. Here we go. Okay, share this tab instead. Look at that face. And then
Look at the eye color.
and then look at this one and tell me with makeup and a mask that this guy couldn't easily become this guy. And so we started going over the cast of characters that are in that movie, and we were able to spot and identify who people could be playing that are in that movie, that are playing in the movie that like they're putting out for us right now. Do you see what I'm saying? Or am I communicating this well?
Yeah. Somebody said Owen Wilson. So here's the thing. My son's name's Owen. My son is actually named Owen because I sat and had a beer with Owen Wilson in LA. Owen Wilson's like, I'm not that tall. I'm like 5'10" and a half. Owen Wilson, I looked down at him. He was that
Okay.
small. There's no way he can play Fetterman. How tall is what's his face?
He's like 6.
Woody.
Yeah, he's like 6 something. Let's see. Woody Harrelson. I'll see if I can get that information for you real quick. Let's see. Woody Harrelson. I just had to type in height.
Oh, yes. We got over 100. We got over
He's
100.
5'10".
Yay.
Nice.
5'10". Yeah. I was
he's
sitting here watching
5'10".
it. If you guys could all hit that thumbs up over on Rumble, I'd super be grateful for it. I'm hoping that we get more eyes on this show. These guys are great. 5'10" is not tall enough to be Fetterman.
But with lifts, you can put 2 inches worth of lifts in. Hold on, bring that back up with Aaron. I wonder if it is Woody. I wonder if it is, but Woody Harrelson is always so freaking stoned. Yeah, because Fetterman's a paragon of intelligence. He's definitely like some of the most. Like when he walks in, Einstein would bow down, right? No, Fetterman's a dipshit, and so it's like, so Woody Harrelson, like even typecast, he could play Fetterman, is what I'm thinking on this whole thing.
I don't know.
And
I don't know.
And if you look at the cast of characters, like it could, like you could see how some of these people who are in this movie that are giving us this disclosure could be playing parts for
Like
some of the politics.
Look at Captain America, who's in this movie. Chris Evans.
Chris
That's his
Evans.
name. There is a picture of Chris Evans that looks so much like Hunter Biden. It's freaky.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we were looking at that. Hold on. So let me share this tab and then see if you can't.
Question.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Has anyone considered? Look, the moon conversation we just had and this conversation have parallels as far as I see it.
Yeah.
Look, when you've been lied to enough, you end up having to use what we call discernment, but a little bit of is imagination. So, like the flat Earth stuff, in my opinion, the rabbit hole is that deep that it starts to concern me that it's a distraction, that we're being manipulated.
Right.
And the same thing. Look, Fetterman, we've seen like 5 different versions of that dude. Ears
Yeah.
I
big,
thought it was
ears
like
small.
7.
Yeah, no tattoos. The dude wears a tie with a hoodie. I mean,
Right.
the whole thing is just laughable.
Right.
So he's either excuse me, but retarded, and we're being like we're seeing something that like we should question, or we're being. Joe Biden looks like he is a stumbling, bumbling idiot on purpose. So I start to look at other people like that. But are they doing it on purpose to draw us in some way emotionally? I don't know.
Well, I think that a lot of it's like exposure. Because again, the Q post, what makes a great movie?
Great actors.
Or what makes a good movie? Great actors.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like, it's like in the realm of possibility. Will that ever be disclosed? Probably not. I don't know. It depends on how much people wake up.
Hmm? I know. And see, that's the problem is how many people are still not awake? How many people still think that Biden is doing a good job?
About
There-
20%.
There's levels to being awake.
There are.
I know.
There are.
There
Like
are.
it's a process. You don't go straight to flat Earth, right?
Sometimes you go to flat Earth and you come back a bit.
Well,
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. Yeah, Zelensky is an actor. Like he has a whole IMDb page.
Zelensky's working with Trump.
I think that that's a very real possibility. Biden is trolling, and who holds his remote? Yeah, I would say that Trump does. But the actors suck. No, the actors are just really good at convincing us that they're evil dipshits.
No,
Yes.
they suck. I think they're sucking on purpose, Brenda.
I think they are
I do
too.
too.
I do too.
So
The ones, well, okay, but the ones that are sucking on purpose are sucking on purpose, and we're noticing. But like, okay, let me ask you guys a
Mhm.
question. Okay,
All right.
do you
Yeah.
think that we've seen Trump every time?
No,
no, absolutely
I'm not even
not.
convinced that he was out here in Las Vegas. It could have been somebody else.
How come all the versions of Trump are very good at being Trump?
Because they're trying to convince you.
Yeah, but the ones that suck are sucking on purpose
Mm-hmm.
to distract us.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I look at Trump and I'm like, that kind of doesn't look like him, but I can't figure it out, right? He told us you might not see me for a while. We know about the
Yes.
Cheyenne Mountains, right? We can go through 100 bullet points that will tell you, of course, he probably has a body double. He's freaking Trump. How are they going to protect him without it? Right? I mean, that's just a rational thought.
His breathing for me.
That's what Kay notices.
Yes.
Between
Yes.
me too.
His
I notice
inhales.
everything.
Yeah,
Yep.
his inhales.
He's like,
Yep. Yeah. After he talks, he always inhales. Yeah, he did it at the debate with Hillary.
mm-hmm.
And I'm noticing that, yeah, that it's happening more often. See, I do firmly believe that there are body doubles. I would say I would venture a guess that there is not a world leader in this planet that doesn't have a body double that does things that the head of state is doing. I'm sure that there were multiple Nancy Pelosi's, all sorts of shit.
Putin's face is getting fatter and healthier every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Putin looked like a crackhead in the 90s.
I know.
He did.
He had those big dark circles like he had been up on a 4-day meth binge. And now he's just like his face grew by an inch and he's just fat and healthy and working with Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, body doubles have been used since before radio.
Yes.
Actually, that's a thing. That's true though.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
It's actually a really funny line.
I mean, I think Saddam Hussein had what, like 5 body doubles?
See? You see what Jan said?
Jan, go ahead.
Jan says, I've always wondered if DJT could also be hid in Russia at times.
I mean, that's a very real possibility.
Thank you, Miss Jan.
Thank you, Jan. Yeah, could he be hidden in Russia? Yeah, but if he's president,
Cheyenne
then
Mountains,
yeah,
yeah.
Cheyenne Mountain. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they would ever let us know that because what was it in West Virginia, that place where they had planned on taking all the senators and congressmen to if we were to get attacked by the nukes. God, I can't think of the name of the hotel out in West Virginia. Anyways, the name probably isn't that important, but it was there for like 40 years. And then the name came out. And then by the time it came out, they already had somewhere else to bring everybody. But I think that they cycle through a lot of secrets like that. So,
You know why?
I mean,
You know
it's a
why Donald
possibility.
Trump? You know why he's not in the Cheyenne Mountains?
Why is that?
Why?
Because we all think he's in the Cheyenne Mountains.
It's a good point.
Very much so.
I mean, that's a place that you would want to look first.
There's a reason.
And really, Cheyenne Mountain could easily turn into a tomb. Not like just get, stuck in there. Of course, then again, there's the tunnels that go underneath, but who controls that part of the tunnel? I mean, that's requires a lot more to figure out. That's why I just let some of those things go. It's like
I agree.
Greenbrier. Thank you, Jan. Exactly. The Greenbrier Hotel in West
You know,
Virginia.
that's exactly what I was going to say.
Hmm?
Some of these details, some of the weeds that we get into are, in my opinion, entertaining conversation. They need to be had. It continues the greater conversation. I think that they're important to talk about. I think really what it comes down to is we've proven something's happening, but none of us know for sure
No.
how they're doing it.
Not a clue.
Well, it just is what it is. We are being, like we're like being cattle shooted in a direction, and it's
That
all
concerns
happening
me.
intentionally. I'm. It doesn't concern me. I'm
No?
I'm as comfy as they get. I promise.
All right.
There's nothing to be upset about. Honestly, I'm probably too comfy. Maybe. I'm hoping Trump goes to jail and they try to assassinate him.
Oh God, that's terrible,
bro. Whatever the worst thing you could think of that's going to happen before the election, it's going to be worse than that. I mean, look at it. He's been Russia, impeachment. We can go through all of the things that were proven false. Now he's gone to court. He's been found guilty on 34 charges, right?
Yeah.
They're pushing the envelope. I think an assassination attempt is a very realistic prediction.
I would venture to say that there's been multiple that we haven't heard a single one of them.
Right, but
How
the
many
one that's
times
public,
has Q said insulated though? That he's insulated.
They have said he's insulated.
but I'm not saying it's going to be real.
Okay.
What I'm
Well-
saying is optically, Trump might get handcuffs put on. Can you imagine that T-shirt? Trump might, and if he does go to jail, he's going to the same jail Epstein was in.
Yeah, we know how that works.
Think about that. Whoops a daisy, the cameras aren't on. Whoops a daisy, the guards fell asleep. Whoops a daisy.
And how would the American populace react to that?
Badly.
How poorly would the American populace react to that?
Well, and
it
Trump
will
came
not
out-
be the same as it was when Kennedy got assassinated. Like, people wouldn't be in shock. As a matter of fact, more people are expecting it now. But that's because people didn't understand the war that Kennedy was fighting. Executive Order 1110 with the whole Federal Reserve thing.
Well, think about what you just said. So the
Okay.
news comes across and they say, "Oh my gosh, a terrorist for the open border shot and injured Donald Trump, and he's on life support." The TV, CNN or whatever tells us that. Everyone's going to go, "No, they didn't. You're freaking lying. It was the CIA. It was you corrupt MFers, and we all stand up and do something about it." Right? The only thing that I can say that I have heard recently out of Donald Trump's mouth that lead me to believe that we may not get that far is because he basically admitted that Q, or the Q team is how I would take it, Ghost in the Machine, Fort Pog, whatever you want to call it, whoever's monitoring and running this whole thing. He said that he's not sure that the people would be able to take it. He basically came out and I'm paraphrasing, but he came out and admitted that they're taking the temperature of society. So if the point is to minimize loss of life and restore freedom, then you wouldn't push us to the point where it caused loss of life because of unrest in the streets. That's
Right.
just logical to believe.
Right.
So they know, they're very well aware what the breaking point is, and we are going to get pushed to that precipice. But only they are going to know when that precipice is. And they could push us to the point where it starts to break.
I mean, to wake people up, I agree. I agree, but I just don't know if that's the precipice. But then again, what was it? The Simpsons have showed that Trump was going to be unalived. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, that one kind of concerns me. But then again, not everything that the Simpsons have said has come true. You know, they've been pretty accurate, but I mean,
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, shoot.
What how do you think the what do you think of the Ingersoll Lockwood books? You know, the
The Baron Trump's
Travels of
Marvelous
Baron.
Adventure.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's like, okay, I understand the story that goes behind it, that there is a time traveler. After all, that's what the book's about. Came back and dropped this book off back in 18, whatever it was. And it's been sitting in the Library of Congress for this whole time. And now all of a sudden, everything's kind of lining up. And that to me seems a little too perfect. So it's like, okay, do I believe in time travel? I don't know, because that's beyond where like I would even consider. Like, how do you even talk to people about that? I'm having a hard enough time, saying that I believe that the moon landing was fake, and I have no idea what the shape of this planet we live on is. But then to go into time travel and all of that other stuff, I don't know. But I think that because we are an enlightened nation, I do believe that there are enlightened people who are running the show. But I believe that those enlightened people are also the ones pulling the strings on the black hats, just like they're pulling the string on what we would call the white hats or the gray hats. And so if you're enlightened, my understanding of enlightenment to have achieved, nirvana or whatever you want to call it, it's you're going to have a greater understanding, but I also believe that all of your senses are opened up. So you have your five natural senses: sight, seeing, hearing, etc., etc., taste, touch. And then I think that there's seven clair senses. And so when I think that you've become enlightened through true meditation and doing the spiritual work, I mean, that's kind of what the Bible is getting at in the end, is achieving that connection with our divine creator and everything like that. I think that you become a player in this game, for lack of a better word. And I think that that would help you create things like that book from Ingersoll Lockwood. And it may seem like a nonfiction kind of book back in the 1800s, but they could have been communicating something. If you really look at the stuff that Shakespeare was writing, there was a ton of there's a ton of Masonic symbolism in there, but also the people who were printing the books, like you could draw out all of the like the golden ratio. You could draw out, a lot of these mathematical geometric things that talk about the formation of the universe. And so I think that they're going to have an understanding that we could not have, if that makes any sense. Or do I need to expand more on any of that?
I don't think you need to expand at all. Look, this is how I consider it. We've been given this show about our military, especially since Joe Biden took office. And that show is they're forcing vaccines. The generals are woke. It's a bunch of, it's a sloppy mess. Like they're unorganized. We're pulling out of Afghanistan and leaving stuff behind, right? Our military is a joke under Joe Biden, right? That's the message that we're being told.
That's the message, yeah.
And I would argue that if you think that our military intelligence is anything other than elite, the best in the planet, the best there ever will be, then I think that you're buying into the narratives. Because let's make it real simple. The Ghost in the Machine videos are so brilliant. The production level is better than Hollywood. The comms are brilliant, and it's full of Easter eggs. It straight up tells you we're everywhere. They're telling you they are controlling the planet. The drops line up with Trump's words, which line up with the reality that they're telling us. This whole thing is being run by military intelligence. There's no way you can convince me otherwise at this point. It's so blatantly obvious. And that book would be nothing for military intelligence to insert
into the Library of
Why
Congress.
the hell is it in the Library of Congress?
But because they keep copies of all the books.
Nobody talked about this book until Q came along.
Exactly.
Nobody even knew it existed. But it's been there since the 1800s. So anybody that thinks that Ghost in the Machine that's potentially controlling the planet wouldn't do things like drop Easter eggs like that, because this plan has been in motion since at least when JFK got murdered,
Oh, at least.
if not way before.
I mean, let's put the whole JFK assassination into some kind of perspective. Let's say you're a Secret Service agent and you're tasked on the detail to protect Kennedy. And let's say you get blindsided by this whole thing out in Dealey Plaza in Dallas. What are you going to do right away? Assuming that you made it to, through all of the Secret Service to get on the presidential protection detail. You're going to shut your mouth. You're going to start looking around and you're going to start doing some real investigations. And then you're going to try to get some allies together to try to create some kind of, like they took out the president of the United States. Like you're going to have an idea. Also, you have to keep in mind that a lot of these Secret Service know where all the bodies are buried, quite literally, for a lot of these people. Like you don't get to be, Secret Service for Dick Cheney and not know what it means when he takes somebody out hunting. And they keep their mouths shut. They probably have a better idea as to what's going on for real than most people. So it says that there's a completely different kind of game being played. And so that game that's being played on that level that we don't even understand is going to be some of the most brilliant and brightest people that you probably ever would have met. And they would be able to pull off things like manage to get a copy of a book that was printed on old paper from the mid 1800s, and you make sure absolutely everything is done properly. You get the right ink, period correct ink, because there's people like if you look at the CIA's website, they have job postings for tailors. They have job postings for people who know how to work with leather. You just keep an eye on it. And so they're looking for people who do all of this stuff. And they'll just go out and recruit people who have a specific skill set. Like in Hollywood. Oh, you know how to make masks? Oh, we need you to make some masks. They already know who you are and whether or not you're going to betray anybody.
Do they even need to go to Hollywood? Because the Ghost Army did it all. We've just watched the Ghost Army get all types of recognition finally, right? D-Day, the Ghost Army up and down the coast of France distracted the Germans so that General Patton could take his crew, 30 whatever, and storm Normandy Beach.
Mm-hmm.
All of those guys that were recognized in the Ghost Army were some of the greatest artists and poets and filmmakers that there are.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to go to Hollywood; they already had them.
Mm-hmm.
Our military intelligence
mm-hmm.
and capability is second to no one.
I agree. The ones that we don't see,
including Hollywood. And what's his face? What's his face keeps posting on TikTok or whatever. The brother of why can't I spit it out?
Brother of
the one that shot.
Stephen Baldwin.
Oh, Baldwin.
Yeah, Baldwin. Stephen Baldwin. Yes, thank you. I couldn't say Stephen.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Joe, do you know what Santino did in the military for part of his career?
No, but I'm guessing it has something to do with what I was just talking about. Tell me.
A little bit, yeah. But I never made it to that level. But then again, that's because I was more worried about being a Marine as opposed to focusing on the real deal out in life. But I was, young and dumb. I was in intelligence. I did psychological operations, and I was a tanker too, which was the best job I ever had. That was better. I'd rather do tanks again.
So my assessment's correct, right?
There are brilliant people. There are people with levels of intelligence that are almost incomprehensible, and they're functioning, and you wouldn't know. But I would also say that those are probably the kinds of people who make it out to areas that have numbers that didn't exist for 50, 60 years, where Lockheed Martin created SR-71 and the U-2 and stuff like that. I would say that there are people that you wouldn't have a clue. Some of the most brilliant people I've ever met. Words are hard.
Words are hard. Sorry, somebody sent me something. I want to show you.
All right.
Again, something. Let me see if I can get this so that I can show both next to each other. So we can do it this way. So this name has been. Let me see if I can make that bigger. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. So this name has been thrown around, just like you said, Jim Carrey.
Mm-hmm.
It's been thrown around a lot, but I think the one from this weekend really kind of piqued my interest. Sorry, I was distracted because somebody was sending me this while we were talking because they wanted.
That's all right.
And
Don't
I
apologize.
I think they're right. Check this out.
All right. I look forward to it.
Pretty excited.
Go ahead, show that. All of a sudden, Arthur Roberts looks just like the dude from this weekend.
He does.
He does.
Absolutely.
And that's a name that's been thrown around for a little bit now.
Yes.
But he is starting to look just like, well, even, okay, look at the squint in, I guess, the observer on the right eye, or from his eye, his left. The left eye is a little bit more closed than the one on the right, and that's on both of those pictures, the center picture and the right picture.
Yes.
I've come to
Got the same 5 head.
Arthur Roberts, in my opinion, is playing at
Look at
least
the
one of the
ears.
guys.
I agree with you 100%. I believe that Arthur Roberts has been a major character player in this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're
More
right about
often
the
than
eye.
not.
You're definitely right about the eye.
Look at the ears.
I'd like to see his teeth. I'd like to see if his teeth match.
I know.
That would be interesting. The way his nose hooks down,
Mm-hmm.
the prosthetic chin, it's a little bit wider. It's not the Balchinian.
I would say 100% that this guy in the middle looks closer to this guy than he does to this guy.
100%. As a matter of fact, if you look at the picture of actual Biden, it's his right eye, his right, the viewer's left, that looks a little bit more closed than his right eye.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing at least one of them.
Oh yeah.
Least.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he couldn't play two of them.
Teeth can be fixed with veneers. That is true.
Absolutely.
What do you mean they can be? Okay, yes. Okay, well, but that's a great point. So if we're going to talk about that, Joe Biden has done some speeches where the bottom teeth are falling out of his mouth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you
I
haven't
didn't
seen
see
those?
that.
Oh,
No, I
bro,
didn't see that.
I'll send it to you.
All
I
right.
don't want to get distracted anymore, but I'll send that to you. You can drop that down, okay?
You know what? That's the thing, though,
It's
because
a good catch. Whoever sent that to Joe, like, yeah, that was perfect.
Oh, that's Sean and on. Oh, that's
Oh, nice.
okay, the veneers can come out, especially when they're just, temporary ones,
Yeah.
not ones that you would wear permanently. So yeah, I could see that happening, that they would fall out.
Keep talking. I'll find it.
I mean, it wouldn't.
That's-
Well, I mean, even regular dentures can
Mhm.
fly out, but
Yes.
it would make sense to me that a veneer would pop out more, especially
Yes.
some of the Hollywood stuff. Like I know that the Hollywood makeup artist kind of stuff, like the veneers that they're going to use, are going to be real high quality because they're going to have to be in it for hours. They're going to have to do, like lines. They got to do scenes that can be tough, but that doesn't mean that the glue that they're using isn't going to give way every now and then, and that they're not going to have a problem with that.
Especially if you've been drinking or eating or any of that kind of thing, because they can't have them stick permanently, obviously.
Well, no.
Because
Have to get paid a lot more for that.
right. But exactly, Nancy slips all the time.
Yeah. Good old Nancy.
Good old Nancy.
Terrifying one.
I'm not sure she is a woman, but whatever.
I'm ready when you are.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
Watch this dude's teeth. Okay. I might even be able to make it bigger. We'll just
Guess. See what happens to the chiclets.
Oh.
Yeah. It's almost like he's trying to pop him out because he's talking with his bottom teeth out more than anything else. It's like kind of got the Balchinian thing going on there too.
So annoying.
See how he's holding them in like a mouthpiece?
Yeah. He's definitely straining with the lower jaw. There it goes. Got to put him back in.
His bottom teeth are falling out of his face.
Well, yeah, it looks like he's got a huge underbite there. They are literally falling out of his face.
Hmm. Those are veneers.
There's something that ain't right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are veneers.
Interesting. But I again, that just kind of points to the fact that that's like not him.
Yeah. I think at this point, we've beyond proven that that's not Joe Biden.
I think it's a rather safe assumption at this point in time to say that that's not Biden. We haven't seen Biden since before the pandemic.
I
So,
agree with that.
I had Patel Patriot on my show, right?
All right. Nice.
John on Badlands does he they kind of, I think they even did a show, right? And I mean this with all due respect. I love them. But he did a show where they basically kind of proved in their opinion that it was plastic surgery or whatever. And so they kind of went with that narrative for the whole Devolution series and the show. And I'm not knocking, if that's still their opinion, I'm not knocking it. They have every right in their research to believe that. Right. But when he came on my show, I'm like, I'm sorry, I just don't. And it's whatever. I respect your opinion. I just don't believe that. And it was friendly. It's still friendly. Love that dude. But I found it really interesting that today he put up a poll and it said, temperature gauge. Is Joe Biden really Joe Biden and has plastic surgery and dementia? Or is it a guy acting and playing Joe Biden? And then the third option was just see the answer. Like you didn't have to pick one. You could just see.
Right.
And somebody playing Joe Biden, the last time I looked, was winning 70% to 13.
Oh, wow. I think more and more people are starting to see that, though.
That's why I think everything's getting so obvious. To me, it looks like it's getting more and more obvious every day.
Yes, absolutely.
Both an actor and a bot.
Could be. Could be.
Both an actor and what?
Or a bot.
What, like a robot?
Or it could be. I'm assuming. I don't know about robots. I'm still having difficulty trying to assume that we have animate. Well, I don't know. Disney's animatronics have been really good for a long time. They just stopped trying to tell us how good they were. So I still struggle with the whole robot or android kind of thing.
Automated.
But AI, most certainly. I think that that's a possibility as well.
Okay, can you pull this one? This is what I was just talking about.
AI video.
So this has 3,500 votes. It's a very small case load, but
you only need 1,000 to get a decent cross section of what people are saying. So that's not bad.
That's pretty significant. 70% to 12.2. And
to
of course, I busted his balls. I just wrote tee hee hee hee.
Hey, sometimes you gotta play the game, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you do.
It's a fun debate, but
okay. So how could he still be Joe? All right, let's go down that rabbit hole. Okay, so let's say it's still Joe, and obviously he's a puppet for the Manchurian candidate. That would be Barry Soetoro. I think that Barry would have been smart enough by now to pull Joe and do the 25th Amendment and get him out and then try to run Kamala through the process or put somebody else in place. They got to have somebody else. I just don't see, I see Obama being smarter than that, to let this Joe stick around.
Hold on a minute. Speaking of Obama.
Biden freezes before Obama grabs his arm, leads him off stage.
This is where that picture's from. This event.
Come on, good buddy. Did Obama have those long legs? I thought Obama had a longer torso.
I know what his wife's got a longer of.
Big Mike.
Mike.
Big
Mike.
Mike.
Look, the only explanation, if you run the whole gamut on every possibility, the only explanation rationally, once you get to the end of the mathematical equation, is that white hats are in control of that guy. It's the only one that makes sense. If you truly look at it all.
I agree. So I guess where I'm at in the whole thing is when that general said we'll have a peaceful transition of military power, that was when they legitimately that was it. That was the end. That's why all of the boards went up at that point in time. I think the Rona was part of the cover for that. I think that was one of the reasons why they had everybody inside the house, because I think that there was a lot of the actual operations going on then and dealing with those kinds of things. And I think that this would have had to have been in place, and that wouldn't have taken place until it was certain that they were trying to steal the election. So they were trying to steal the election. We know that Mike Lindell, shout out to Mike Lindell and My Pillow, and so Mike Lindell came out with the videos in the movie and talking about how the Italian defense contractor, all of those things, like he was laying it out for the people that were actually paying attention at that point in time. And so I think that was to get the people who actually were seeing what was going on, to keep everybody like that calm while they had the time to go do the things that they need to do, because an operation like this isn't going to happen overnight. Right. And you're taking out really a lot of what was, and the people who understand how the National Command Authority works. And so they're going to have counter moves for any kind of removal of them from office. And so this is going to be a lot deeper. And a lot of people probably won't understand this. And they're not going to want to tell people a lot of these things. And the main reason is because really, in the end, the government's job is to continue to exist. And if the government starts giving out, okay, all of these people are bad, we're going in, we have to do these military operations, it's going to cause a lot more problems. It's going to tip their hand in terms of what our continuity of government operations would be. So that's why this would probably be a lot more secret than a lot of the other things. Meanwhile, they're giving us a lot of these things with I'm trying to think. I got so much stuff going on in my mind right now. They would give us a lot of these things, maybe not necessarily the train crashes. I think that the train crashes were part of their play as they were trying to get rid of a lot of these problems, because I think that the Oracle of Omaha, whatever the hell his name is, he's
Warren
a
Buffett.
jackass. I think that he had plays that he was making and his minions, and that was to try to soak up money from the insurance companies. They're still trying to make their money. Meanwhile, they're trying to cover their own ass. And so it would be very confusing for 90% of the people on this planet. And so I think that what we're watching is a white hat operation. We won't hear about all of it, if much of any of it, in the future. But I think that it will make a lot of sense once Trump gets back into office and we start to see how all this stuff unfolds. That's what I'm going with at this point.
So you brought up the trains.
Yeah.
I got a few more to add to that list. Look, in my opinion, when something big happens that they plaster all over the news, like say space balloons, right, spy balloons from China.
Yeah.
If anybody thinks our military didn't know they were there, they're hot. I got a bridge in Baltimore to sell you. So,
Slightly damaged.
Slightly damaged. Yeah, slightly used.
I mean, but the bridge is another good point.
Yeah.
I can bring up the shooting in Vegas. I could bring up the Christmas bombing in Nashville. We
Mhm.
can talk about the 7-Eleven shootings in California. We can talk about the fires in Hawaii, the
Mhm.
simultaneous fires in Alaska that
Mhm.
cloaked the whole East Coast in smoke.
Mhm.
Honestly, do you want to know what I truly think? Some of these, first of all, we're not being told the truth about any of them.
No.
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 Second of all, some are being used as distractions, and some are
Mhm.
being brushed under the rug because we have kinetic military warfare on our own soil.
Uh-huh.
And it would panic the American people to find out that there was a military style gunfight in Nashville
Dude.
on Christmas.
Yeah.
But there
Yeah.
was.
There was something going on.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen my thread. I dug deep into that one. There was military style gunfight leading up to that RV that was warning everybody to get away on Christmas
Mhm.
morning when nobody would be on the streets, which leads
Oh,
me to
yeah.
believe that
Okay,
some
now I know
good
what you're
guys were
talking about.
involved. So the RV was right outside of AT&T's warehouse, while drones that flew over after proved that there was a bomb on the inside as well.
Mhm.
Ring cameras and different businesses had cameras that caught the audio of literally a military style gunfight from audio
Mhm.
leading up to that explosion. But the only thing put on the news was Jewish space laser came down and blew up an RV and it told everybody to get away. And the cops cameras walking up to the RV. But there was so much more that went on.
Mhm.
And that's when I realized something's happening. Big weather events. Yes, that's another really good one. Remember when Texas froze?
Yeah.
We
We
were
were there. We
Yeah.
were there. Yeah.
Right.
It was cold.
So some of these things they're using the weather. There's absolutely the gunfight in Vegas is a huge one. The explosion in Nashville is a huge one. Even the trucks blowing up under 95 in Philly, they all have the potential to be part of the greater picture. And you know who's the only one that know it is our military and military intelligence. The ones that were firing
Very
those guns.
few. Very
the
few.
ones firing those guns weren't even talked about on the news at all.
No.
Why? Because it was legit warfare.
Mhm.
Why were the space spy balloons talked about ad nauseum? Joe Biden's an idiot. There's balloons. They're spying on us. Everybody's looking at the sky. Because we were being distracted from something.
Mhm.
It's blatantly obvious. It's one or the other. They're either hiding real stuff or they're distracting us with something dumb.
So this is a typical military been used since the beginning of military warfare, that you cause a distraction to get people looking one way so that way you can come around and do something very different. The Vietnamese, the Viet Cong used this all the time. They would put
Q-Storm. Sorry.
Oh, the server in Germany. Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a very good one. But like the Viet Cong, they would put something up that would get a GI's attention. Meanwhile, they step in a punji pit. And so, like, that's very standard way of doing things. Even the first Gulf War, they had the Marines. They did a feint or a fake military amphibious assault into Kuwait. Meanwhile, the army came in from they did a big left hook. Did the same thing for the attack up into Baghdad. You know, the Marine Corps did the hey diddle diddle straight up the middle, up Route Tampa, and the army went out into the desert and then came in straight towards Baghdad. It was just that's how it's done. And so to think that they're gonna, let us see what's going on. As a matter of fact, when you see a distraction is when you should be looking the other way at everything else. But that stuff is going to be so hidden at this point in time because there is a lot of control over what is shown on the news. And I think that now that they've gotten rid of Lemon and Potato Head and all those other people on MSLSD and, CNN and all that other stuff, I think that the people that are there now are the people that have been trained into the actual American way of doing things as opposed to the socialist Nazi thing that Operation Paperclip people kind of brought over with them.
Right.
Well, okay, so now consider two more events, right?
All right.
The first one, Afghanistan pullout, right? That plane did
Mm.
not look right. Right, a whole bunch of guys with towels in their
No.
heads, waving and smiling, running next to a plane, and then 2 of them dropped off. Oh my gosh, can you believe it? They held on to like 800 feet. Stop it. Okay,
Yeah, that
stop
one
already.
was.
We
Yeah.
left all the equipment. We didn't damage any of it. We left it all there, and we watched the Taliban holding our machine guns, driving Humvees away. Right,
Using all of our highest tech equipment that the military generally, your average military doesn't get.
and everyone forgets that Donald Trump planned on pulling out of Afghanistan for years prior to this. And
Mhm.
not only that, but like we were supposed to get a whole bunch of terrorisms that were going to happen because the Taliban took all that equipment. And what's happened? Until now in Gaza and Israel, there's been silence in the Middle East. Otherwise, there's been
Mhm.
no Taliban.
Right.
Okay, so here's the second event.
Okay.
You want to talk about shell games? COVID-19. Donald Trump brings everyone to the biggest rally that's ever going to happen in American history on January 6th.
Mhm.
And then we have a big long speech that goes like 20 minutes. I don't remember what it was exactly, but a whole lot of minutes late. They went over. He kept the whole crowd up there. Meanwhile, the January 6th psyop happens however far away, that these people that were all at the speech that were invited there by Donald Trump weren't even there for.
Right.
By the time they got there, it's dwindling down.
I'm glad you brought that up because the rabble rousing started before Trump was even done talking.
Before he was even done. I remember watching it on TV. I was supposed to go that day. Thank God I didn't go. I'd have been climbing off the walls, or I'm just that dude. I'd be in jail right now. But seriously, Donald Trump invites everybody, keeps them all up there late. I remember watching the TV and I'm going, what's he doing? Mike Pence is going to certify. Trump, shut up. Let them go down the Capitol and make their stand. But no, he just kept talking behind bulletproof glass. Well, okay, so now we had the January 6th debacle. It happened, right? What did they do? What did they do? They caged in DC with barbed wire fences and the doors only open from the outside. They brought in 25,000 National Guard and they deputized as U.S. Marshals 2,500 of them. And they said it's because of COVID and the security risk. Meanwhile, no one was allowed in to watch the inauguration. And then we got little Easter eggs. Nancy Pelosi's getting walked around by martial women, right? We watched people potentially come out looking like they were handcuffed. We watched
a couple of them.
Right. Remember freaking Lady Gaga dressed up like the Hunger Games.
Hey, the time was off that supposedly Joe Biden was
early. Yep.
Early.
Yeah. Oh,
Sworn
yeah, that's right.
in. That's it.
Well, and it was broadcast on TV. Yeah, like the day before over in Europe or something. The night before over in Europe.
I never confirmed that one, but that's definitely something people said for sure. Look, just the fact that Lady Gaga dressed up like the Hunger Games to sing our national anthem should be enough for people to realize that it was a show. And then they kept it caged in all of DC for months. And they told us it was because of COVID and a security risk. And while that was happening, what did we watch? We watched Joe Biden, green screen, microphones go through his hands. We watched Joe Biden on sound stages with digital windows with shipping containers in them. We literally watched him sign stacks of executive orders this high. And what did they all do? All they did was pause everything that Donald Trump did.
Yes.
They supposedly shut down pipelines. That didn't actually happen. Keystone's still up and running.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen. Of course, we're probably on the other side, so it doesn't matter to us.
There's
we got
2
Cali
Keystones.
prices out here.
One of them stayed up and running.
Okay.
Our largest export right now is fuel, which is what Donald Trump promised that we're going to do. We're going to not be just the energy independent. We're going to be energy dominant. It's already happened. He said that we're going to clean up DC. We're going to use kid gloves and we're going to put money in DC. He wants to rebuild our capital. It's already happened. They shut it down and they are already dumping money into it to rebuild it. Meanwhile, all these distractions are going on. Why do you think he says we're sort of in my second term right now? It's literally already happening.
Mm-hmm.
But we're
I
all
agree.
we're,
I
we're all
agree.
going the border, but gas prices. Look, I just went yesterday.
They have to do the border distraction. That has to happen.
Of course. Yeah. It all has to
Because,
happen.
well, yeah, but each one of these distractions is designed to wake people up. Everything going on with the border right now is to completely get people to get on board with getting that wall built. Keep in mind, walls work both ways. They can keep people in too.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely did on January 6th and the inauguration.
Mhm. Yeah, he does have that dash on his hat there, Aaron. 45-247.
I know.
I keep waiting for the CIA to knock on my door and tell me to shut up.
I don't know if that's how that'd work.
Well, they've knocked on Pepe Deluxe's door.
I can see that.
They knocked on a lot of doors after January 6th.
I'm sure they did.
And see, that's the thing. The hats, it says 45-47. And a lot of people are like, that's because he means he was the 45th and he's going to be the 47th. What if it's not? What if it means 45th through the 47th?
But I still think that we're going to go back to the Republic and that we're going to have, like, what, make him 17th president?
19th.
That's it. 19th president. I think that that's kind of part of this play.
I don't
Because
know.
the Fed still has the covering over. They have a covering over the damn Federal Reserve building out in there in Missouri, right?
Remember
they
the
still
explosions?
haven't put it back up.
I did hear about the explosion. I don't remember much about it.
Mm-hmm.
There was
no
explosions on the roof of the FBI building in DC, and the official story was that the boilers had built up too much pressure, and it was a relief valve. I run boilers for a living. None of our relief valves explode.
No,
No, they
Wow.
let loose and they whistle.
Huh?
I'm not
about that?
saying I'm not saying it's not possible, except for that I'm saying that I've never seen it.
Did you know that in military operations in urban terrain, if you want the people to go without a fight, you start from the top of the building and you work your way down, because that way the people who are trying to hold the building have a place to run out to. They have a chance to survive that way. Whereas if you clear from the bottom to the top, they're going to fight to the death. It's just a little side note I thought that you might find interesting.
Definitely interesting. Look, here's the thing. We have about 1 billion coincidences.
Right? or two.
So
Or two.
even if we're wrong about a few, there's too many.
Well, yeah. Okay, so we already understand that there's, what is it? How many coincidences until it's mathematically impossible? We've already
passed
gotten,
that.
yeah, we passed the mathematically impossible for it to be coincidences at this point in time. Now it's just trying to figure out what is the story telling us, so that way we can understand. I think more than anything, a lot of the times it's kind of an exercise in, like, what is it? Just a natural curiosity. And I think that that's something else that's been awakened in a lot of people during this great awakening, is a lot of people are finding their natural curiosity again to ask the questions that we've gotten lazy, mentally lazy, and we stopped asking. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? The government's doing fine. Oh, I'll vote for Reagan. Oh, I'll vote for Bush. Oh, I'll vote for blah, 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 assuming that these people are going to care. And that's what we're waking up from. And I think that that's why a lot of this is happening the way it is to get people to start using the gray matter between their ears for something other than a spacer.
Spacer.
This is one of my favorite drops. Are you guys scared of getting kicked off of YouTube if you show a drop?
It
No.
wouldn't be the first time.
We've already shown them, so we're good.
Only
Yeah, they-
anons can fully appreciate the continued validations and confirmations through covert series of mathematically impossible coincidences and means in order to maintain structural integrity. Wheels up.
Mhm. There you go. Continuity of government. COG.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
And they've told us.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. You're right.
They've been telling us, but they didn't tell us anything. Isn't that nice too? So what I'm saying is that there's plausible deniability built into each one of those posts. Like,
Oh, okay.
in other words, they can say, well, we didn't say anything there. Like in a court, how can you use that? You can't use that statement against any one human being, even if you catch the person who was doing the posts.
Trump's brilliant at that. It's not just the posts. He does it in his speeches. Joe's shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I love his little
He
miniature
said that,
comms
he
there.
said that at the rally we went to.
Yeah.
He said Joe shot. He doesn't even know he's alive.
Or he said, no, I don't, he does. I don't even think he knows he's here or something like
No,
that.
alive.
Was it? I don't remember what it was, but there was definitely that mention there.
Yeah, Joe doesn't know he's alive. He even said one time, he said, Joe's shot.
Yeah.
He couldn't even get the nomination when he was healthy, and now he's only got like half his head left, and he gets the nomination.
There it is. There it is. Yeah. Only has half of his head left. What could we be saying there?
Gee, I wonder.
He straight up says, he comes right out loud and says, it's not him.
Yes. Yes, he does.
He told
But
everybody.
you can easily say, yeah, he's got half his head. Look at it. He's got dementia. He only has half of his brain left. Like, you can explain that away.
I'm going to give you more.
That's what's beautiful about how Trump does that too.
Well, listen, here's some more for you. Think about this from both sides.
All right.
Fake news. Everybody thinks they're lying to us. They're the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you, this operation couldn't have possibly happened without full information control. So when he
100%.
says fake news, he's saying that we're giving you fake news.
He even said that when RSBN was the only news outlet that was
Thank you.
there. And so why would RSBN be fake news when everybody assumes, they make the assumption they're not following through with it?
He told everybody that that his hearings were a hoax. He told everyone they were fake Joe Biden indictments. And everyone's mad because Joe Biden is weaponizing the government at Donald Trump. He just told us they're not real. Joe Biden's a bad guy. No, he's telling you they're literally fake.
I agree. I agree. I don't know what you want me to say. I agree with you.
I know. I get passionate. I get so passionate about this.
But it's because you can see something that a lot of people should be able to see, especially at this point in time. But sadly, I'm sure you do too. We have family members who are still dyed in the wool. Joe Biden is the best president ever, and you can't talk to him. And so that's why I think that things are continuing on the way they are, because Q even had said that, some people just, they're not, like, once it's all done, they're still not going to be able to accept everything that's happened, despite the fact that everything's right there in front of their face. And it's to try to minimize those basically lost souls at that point in time.
I have to jump. I just realized it's 9 o'clock, and now my phone's blowing
It is
up.
that time.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say though, if anybody's still watching on Twitter, please go over to Rumble. The link is in the comments of the Twitter. Go over there. Please follow this show. Hang out with these guys. You will see me in their chat almost every day. Every day that I possibly can, I come over and I hang out with these guys. I am super grateful that you guys had me on. And please, come over. Any of you guys that just hang out over here, come watch Rambo and Friends as well. We got awesome guests. Awesome. And you guys will definitely be on there again as soon as I start working out a schedule again. So we'll figure that out to get you over with me too.
Thank you, Joe.
Awesome.
You're amazing, man. You've got a brilliant mind. I'm surprised that you hadn't been recruited by the military or the CIA at this point in time.
I know.
My paper trail wouldn't allow for that.
Yeah, because they're all saints in the CIA.
Right.
That's true.
All right.
All right.
All right, brother. We appreciate you showing up. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
And
Love you.
yeah, you're
Love you.
always welcome here.
Yes.
Yeah, love you
always.
too, brother.
Love you,
All right.
brother.
Have a great night.
Yep. See you.
You ready?
Yeah. What are we doing here?
It's time.
It's time. Okay, it's time.
Remember, everything in life happens for a reason. Good days tell you that life is beautiful. Bad days tell you that there is more to learn from life. Good people give you valuable memories, and bad people give you valuable lessons. So believe that everything in life happens for a reason.
All right, Santino.
All right. Oh, big face. So what that's really getting at is that everything happens for a reason. And with that, we should count it all joy. It should all be in joy. It may not be fun at the moment. You're going to go through good times. You're going to go through bad times. And we've been through some really difficult times lately. There's been some rough seas that all of us have had to navigate through. But at the same time, we're clinging to these things that we see with our eyes and the things that we feel that are right in our heart. And it resonates with a lot of people. And so we need to recognize that all of these things are happening for a reason. And it's done for everybody's best. It's for all of our best interest. It's all in our good that these things are happening, especially with Joe Biden and Kamala and all of these bad actors that we see on a daily basis. But this country's been very sick for a long time. This country's been run by some of the most perverse people on the planet, and they've encouraged, and they are continuing to encourage everybody to be like that. But America's waking up from that right now, and the only way that could happen is if we were going through these difficult times. If there wasn't Bidenflation, then we would be quite content with the system that we were in. And the way we're going through it, it really does appear that it's being done to happen in the most peaceful way possible. And so we should be grateful that things are happening the way they are, because friends and family that wouldn't even entertain some of these ideas are now asking each and every one of us, and that includes each and every one of you, what are you seeing with this? And so we should be grateful about all of that, because it is for our own good, and that we should count this all joy. So make sure that you're keeping that positive mental attitude, because that positivity is going to help you see things the way they really are, as opposed to the way they want us to see things. It's time for us to break out of these negative thought processes and negative cycles that we've been in. And as we move forward through this, and as more of America wakes up each and every day, it gives us all the chance to recognize the America the way it's supposed to be, as opposed to the way it is. And if we can see what it's supposed to be, then we have something to work toward. And the only way we can get people to go along with that concept of that America the way it's supposed to be is if we have that positive, happy mental attitude, and understanding that the war is already won, and that we're just trying to get not only ourselves, but we're trying to navigate other people to that point, because it's all going to be good in the end. We just have to stay in that positive mental attitude. So make sure that you're keeping your chin up, shoulders back, and chest out, and move forward with your day with confidence that everything is going to be fine in the end. Leave it to our Creator, because He's the one that's in control of all of it in the end. We love you all. Thank you for joining us. And special thanks to Joe. He's an amazing man, and I truly appreciate him. And he's really putting out great information, and we're very humbled that he would even give us the time.
Exactly.
So thank you very much. We love you all. Thank you for joining us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, Rumble, and Pill.net.
And if you haven't already, please take one moment, hit that thumbs up button, take that red pill over on Pilled, smash that heart over on X. And if you don't follow Rambo, which I'm sure you all
I'm
do,
sure all of you do now.
make sure you do. And we love you guys, and we will definitely see you guys tomorrow night.
We love you all. Have a great night. God bless, and be safe.